Most headphones these days try to do a little bit of everything, but every once in a while, you run into a pair that clearly has one specific mission in mind. That is exactly the vibe with these Pioneer cans. They aren't trying to be subtle or neutral. From the moment you put them on, it is obvious they were built for people who want to feel the music rather than just listen to it. The design is pretty straightforward, but there is a clever trick hidden inside the ear cups. Instead of relying on a single driver to handle the entire frequency range, this thing uses a dual driver setup. You have got a 40mm driver dedicated to the low end and a 30mm one for the highs. It is a smart way to keep the bass from muddying up the vocals, and honestly, it works better than you might expect. When you are listening to something with a heavy beat, the low end hits with a surprising amount of authority. It is punchy, tight, and doesn't feel like it is struggling to keep up. Because of that 16-ohm impedance, you don't need a fancy amplifier to get these things loud. They play perfectly fine straight out of a phone or a laptop, which is a huge plus if you are constantly on the move. Now here is the thing about that closed-back design. It does a decent job of keeping your music to yourself, but it also creates a bit of a seal that can get a little warm during longer sessions. If you are wearing these for 3 or 4 hours straight, you might find yourself needing to take a quick break just to let your ears breathe. It is not a deal breaker, but it is definitely something to keep in mind if you are planning to wear them all day at a desk. The build quality feels solid enough to toss into a bag without worrying too much, though the plastic finish does pick up fingerprints if you are not careful. It is one of those quirks you just learn to live with. What stands out, though, is the maximum input capacity. At 1000 milliwatts, you can really push these hard without hearing that annoying distortion that usually creeps in when you crank the volume. It stays clean even when things get loud. If there is one thing to nitpick, it is that the cable isn't detachable, which is a bit of a bummer in an era where we are all used to swapping out cords if they fray. You have to be a little more careful with the cable than you would with some of the newer gear on the market. Still, for the price and the sheer energy these things bring to a track, it is hard to be too upset about that. They have a distinct personality that is rare to find in this price bracket. If you are the type of listener who prioritizes a fun, energetic sound signature over clinical accuracy, these are going to be right up your alley. They aren't perfect, but they are definitely a blast to use.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.